So today's video is going to be all about sexuality, transformation, being open and okay and comfortable with good sexual energy. So I've invited the beautiful goddess Ix-Chel, which actually stands for what?
Moon goddess.
Moon goddess, you see? And we're talking about everything from what?
From how to use sexual energy as a vehicle of transformation, to any tips and tricks, to communication, anything that RaqC feels called and inspired to ask me today.
You guys ready for this? We're taking it there. And I'm gonna ask those questions that you're probably thinking inside your head. We're getting answers today. Have you guys ever met an intimacy and transformational coach? Well, you're looking at one right here.
Hey.
Beautiful Ix-Chel. And you know, I think there's a big taboo and there's a big misconception and a big fear, to be really honest, when it comes to the word sex, when it comes to the sexuality, your own sexuality, when it comes to being open and free and really tapping in to that energy, you know? And I thought to myself, I gotta invite my beautiful friend Ix-Chel, who dedicates herself to helping people really tap into this beautiful energy that we all carry, right? Exactly. And what I've noticed, you know, in talking and getting a lot of emails from different women, Ix-Chel, is that, and women and men, is a lot of people are stuck when it comes to their intimacy with themselves, right? So let's talk about that. Like, how would you define intimacy and sexuality?
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for taking this time.
Of course.
So if you break down the word intimacy, you know, you can kind of even like hear the word in T, which is you, I see. So when you start really opening up yourself and being vulnerable and being like, you know, maybe this is your first time having this particular experience, or maybe this is the first time you want to open yourself to being worshipped this way, or maybe you want to try something new with your partner. And so you really allow yourself to be vulnerable, to not put on the show like, oh yeah,
I don't do that.
I don't do that.
Oh my gosh.
Or like, I know, or whatever front. Whatever kind of ego is in the way of you really being open and trying something new, is an opportunity to be seen for who you are without any walls or protection or any kind of ways that you're setting yourself up from keeping more intimacy from occurring. So in me I see is an opportunity to really unveil the depths of who you are. And obviously you want to be selective and discerning about that, because not everyone deserves to see the true gem that you are.
Yeah, I agree. Not everybody gets to see that side of you.
To be intimate is a really precious gift to yourself and to your lovers, beloveds. And so the heart and the body and the emotion really has to feel safe and open and honored to be able to go there.
What advice would you have for women, Ix-Chel?
Yeah.
And even men, but I find this more women because, you know, women will write to me. How do you begin to break down those walls when maybe you were a victim of sexual abuse when you were a little girl? Maybe all your life you were told, you know what, you're not good enough, or you don't feel like you're good enough. Maybe you feel the need to be validated by somebody. Like, how do you start breaking down those walls so that way you can have an amazing intimate life with yourself and with your beloved?
I think for me, what led me on my path personally is like I had to go through a pretty traumatic sexual experience, and it wasn't so much of an abuse or a rape, but it had something to do connected with sexuality, and that's something I share more in my play shops and workshops. But long story short, it took something like that to then go on a deep healing journey of why I got there in the first place. So then I had to like rewire everything of like, oh, it's because I never had a safe, open place to talk about sex. I just grew up being Catholic, conservative.
And that happens to a lot of people watching this, where it's like, God forbid you talk to your dad or your mom about an intimate moment, and they're like, eres una sucia, sos una fácil, no estabas casada, llevas al infierno. You know what's crazy is you know, when I had my first intimate experience, I actually was living with my dad. And he was, you know, he was my parent figure at that time, And I had a friend threaten me that she was gonna like divulge my business to my dad. And before she did, I was like, before you do, I'm gonna let him know.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because, and this is why I love my dad so much, because I had to sit there and tell him, you know, Dad, like I've been intimate and, you know, like it happened, you know? And my dad was like, that's natural.
No.
Like you're a beautiful girl and that's gonna happen in your life. So just make sure you're careful about it.
Yeah.
And my dad, I was so lucky to just not have a parent that judged me. And this is why I could tell my mom and my dad anything, because they just, I don't know, if they just kind of know that that's just my vibe.
And there you go. That's like the source of what I want to, like the foundation of what I want to talk about. When you have that safe space, it's like anything can happen. You can be yourself. You can be bold. You can just shine and thrive because it's like you're being honored from the bottom up all the way to your full expression. And so Tantra, which is the yoga that I teach that helps with sexuality, you know, it's about incorporating all the chakras, all the different places within the body. And so our sexuality is like, has to do with our first and second, you know, chakras. And then as we move up and we get that foundation solid with safety, love, and trust, and you can move up and be that powerful woman and speak your truth and all the way up and continue to recycle that energy on and on infinitely.
Love that. It starts at the base, you guys. In intimate moments when you are with somebody, because especially if you live with your partner and you know them, you kind of know, even if you don't live with them, right? But you know when somebody's present and when somebody's not present. And that's sad. You know, if you're seriously in an intimate moment and you're just not there, right? And you're just floating, thinking about work, thinking about, I don't know, maybe you're thinking about somebody else.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think about somebody else and maybe that helps you get to where you gotta go. You know, that I don't know if that's right or wrong. Again, we're going back to what are the boundaries when it comes to sex and you know, it's like, right? Like who writes the rules?
Exactly.
What are your thoughts on like rules when it comes to sex?
So number one thing is transparency, honesty, and being open, and really using, again, this opportunity to be vulnerable, to be seen, to really share your depths, and again, with selective, discerning people that really respect you and fully are interested in your highest good, because it is sexual energy, and you know, sexual energy is so powerful. Like in any moment, you can be a mother and a father, and so instead of giving birth to a child, you can still apply that same sexual energy into creating dreams, into manifesting things. You're directing it because you're consciously weaving and then putting that energy out there for particular things. That's kind of sex magic. For
sex magic, I like that.
That's in a nutshell what sex magic is. But what I wanted to say about agreements and rules and things like that, you know, it's very important to see sexuality as like a meditation. Meaning, obviously you're not sitting with your eyes closed, but in a sense, one of the foundations of meditation is to be in a place of stillness and emptiness. And that's how you want to view your sexuality. You want to be in a place where you're clear, you're present, and whatever you have to do to get there beforehand, do it. It'll be so much better for you and your lover once you embark on the journey together. But if you're in your head tripping about something else, you need to go take care of it. Do something. Because this is a meditation and it's about how present can I be here and now. Okay, something came up, she's not feeling or she's having this emotion or blah, blah, blah. How present can I be now, here and now? And constantly check in with yourself here and now.
Yeah, and you know, I think something that really messes intimacy up is trying to do the same thing over and over and over again. And you're like, hey, this is getting boring. And ladies and fellas, don't be afraid to tell your partner that. Like, I want to do it on the counter. I want to do it, you know, outside in the patio, like whatever. And that's, you know, I just feel like as human beings, we limit ourselves, especially when this person, especially if you've had kids with somebody and they've seen you give birth to their child, like, why are you limiting yourself?
Yeah.
Right? Like, be all that. Be a wild savage. Be a beast. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them below. Let me know if you guys want me to do another video with Ix-Chel, because this girl is a vault of knowledge and she explains everything so eloquently and so, like, you make it make sense, right? And you just really I've seen you really help people just break down those barriers with themselves and be free. I hope you guys loved this video and gave me like 25 million thumbs up. Okay, maybe not that many, but at least 2, right? If you guys have any questions for Ix-Chel for our next video, make sure you drop them below and share with us, you know, how you are intimately free with your partner if you want. You might not want to put all that in the comments, but let us know how you like this video and if you want more of them, okay? Remember, share my videos, keep subscribing. Los quiero mucho. And my lovely goddess, any last words for the people?
Yes, thank you so much, guys. And yes, take this opportunity to really shine and open up yourself to infinite pleasurable possibilities.